I trust you to not do anything stupid? I want to talk to you, face to face, as civilized people do. No, not really. By the way, we have captured your friend as well. He's in a tent up in the camp, and we will compare your stories, so you'd better stick to the truth. Samael, take off the blindfold. Well then, I am Taranor of Korek's blood, former ruler of Kabiet, and now representative of the free peoples of Nerim, which you undoubtedly already knew. Who are you? I see. And who sent you? And why? Just as I suspected. And how exactly...
My lord, I think you should see this.
Of course. We have taken the liberty of stripping you of your belongings. If you'll excuse me for a moment, please. A silver plate. I see. They were sent to spy on us.
Then let's kill them.
No. He was honest, and I am a man of my word. And actually... Actually, you have done us a favor. We can use the plates to present Aranthiel with our offer, without putting ourselves in danger.
What? How? What are these plates?
Old artifacts of the Pyreans. Their magic works like a sort of ear conch. Sounds are transferred from one plate to the other. And I strongly suspect that at this very moment, Taelor Aranthiel and Arathzel's traitorous heirs are gathered around the counterpart, waiting for someone to activate this plate, aren't they? Samael, do you know how to use these plates? Excellent. Then activate it. I will talk to old Aranthiel. Let's hope that he will listen for once in his life. Otherwise, this will end in disaster. Taelor Aranthiel, I know that you are there and that you can hear me, so why don't we just stop playing games? As you wish, Grand Master. You can keep quiet, but you should be aware of who's going to pay for your arrogance.
Haven't you had enough war by now? After 2 decades?
2 decades of war that were necessary because your god suppressed the people. Or would you deny even this?
Is that why you wanted to talk to Eric? To throw around accusations.
No, no, that's not what I wanted. We are talking because I want to give you a chance. We know that you are fighting the High Ones, and that you're trying to reconstruct the beacon in order to stop them.
Which makes perfect sense, since the cleansing means the end of all life. Don't you agree?
No, I don't. And if you even remotely understood who the High Ones actually are, and what they represent, you wouldn't either. They are evolution, the ascendance of humanity to a higher level.
What?
Let's just face the facts for a moment. There's no evidence that the cleansing, whatever shape it will take, will be violent. Yes, the Pyreans are gone, but how do we know they've not just simply gone to another place? That they've transformed? The High Ones are not our enemies, Aranthiel. They are the next step of evolution, the envoys of our purpose, that we might become more than the simple-minded creatures we've been during the past millennia. This is what the cleansing actually is. Don't you understand? It's the moment when humanity is relieved of its vices, united, reaching a higher level of existence.
That's absurd.
To you, it might sound that way, but I have seen it with my own eyes. Ever since the gods departed, the High Ones have sent me dreams in which I can see the future, and it's glorious. It's not our destiny to stay human, Aranthiel. With their help, we will be gods, true gods, not the idols you have worshipped. It's the truth, whether you accept it or not.
Either. People are dying, Koarek. There's war all over Veen. The dead are rising from their graves, and people are killing each other for no apparent reason. Whatever you have dreamed, does this look like some kind of ascension to you?
I know about the Red Madness, but has it ever occurred to you that it follows a pattern as well? That it only befalls certain people?
Whom?
People whose thinking is in shackles. People whose minds are not free, and who are superstitious and ignorant. Such as the people in your country, to whom you have denied the truth about their gods.
What? Are you saying that the Red Madness only affects religious people? People who still believe in the Lightborn?
Yes. Religiosity is a pattern of thought that favors irrationality over reason. Someone who thinks in these patterns is simply not ready for the advancement, and the Red Madness is simply a way to sieve them out. A natural selection, if you will. That's also why you are not affected by it, Aranthiel, because you know that what you and your order fought so hard to keep up over the years were lies.
This is nonsense. There have been cases of Red Madness in the Order too, and we have seen what the cleansing will bring us in the dreams and in their chronicles, and it has nothing to do with some kind of ascension. Just listen to yourself, Koarek. You talk like a mad prophet. Is that what you want to be?
You react just as I expected. Very well, then. Will you at least hear our offer?
Speak.
The cleansing has to happen, and we, the free peoples of Nerim, will make sure that it does. We will not allow your backward thinking to keep humanity from advancing, as it has done for centuries. Therefore, if you don't want a war, you will stop rebuilding the beacon, and you will tell your people the truth about their gods, so that then they, too, can ascend when the time has come. You've said it yourself, Aranthiel. This world has had enough war. Spare it yet another one.
I would if I could, but if these are your demands, then no.
Then we will have to force you. This means bloodshed, Aranthiel, and innocents will die, and all because...
This conversation is over.
Bloody fool. Alma, prepare the attack. He asked for it.
Yes, my lord. What will happen to the prisoners?
The spies. Right. We're at war now, and this means you're my enemies. But as I said, I am a man of my word, and so I'll leave your fate to chance. Samael, put him to sleep, and then put him and his friend on a raft. If they survive, so be it. If not, fair enough.
Well, well, look who's here. How are you doing, silly? Still on the search? Is that so? Honestly, I find that a little hard to believe. But I guess you know what you're doing, don't you? You always did. Come on, let's go inside. I've prepared a little surprise, or should I say a big one. I suppose that depends on how you look at it. Ta-da-da-da! Look who I dug out. It's Mother and little sister. Aren't they beautiful?
Aren't we beautiful? Aren't we beautiful?
But I suppose what we dead people do doesn't concern you now, does it, my child? Because you are important now. Ha! Can you believe it? He's important now. He is chosen.
Chosen, chosen.
But you know, I think you've forgotten something amidst all this ballyhoo of prophecies, cleansings, and beacons. That you are weak. You are pathetic. You are worthless. And you are weak. That's what you were back then. That's what you are now. And that's what you'll always be. Saving lives? You? Ridiculous! But then again, maybe we do you wrong. So why don't you just tell us? Why you? Why should you, of all people, be the solution to the problem? Why should you be able to prevent something that has happened to mankind for thousands of years? You! That's right. You don't know. Because you are a stupid, dirty brat. A murdering, stupid brat and nothing else. See? You did it again. You made me unhappy. You made me curse. And cursing is a sin. Don't you understand? I'm only trying to help you to see. You, don't you understand? You are not yourself. And deep down inside, you know it as much as I do.
You know it. You know it.
So, tell me, silly, why is it so hard for you to just let go? Your place is here, in the realm of the dead. So just let yourself fall. It only hurts in the beginning, you know? Then it's like falling asleep. Please, my child, we miss you so much. Little sister wants to play with you again.
Play with you. Play
And
with
the two
you.
of us, we could go hunting again, like back in the old days. Find ourselves a nice deer, and then have a good, juicy piece of meat for dinner. But do you even listen to me? Hey, you're not supposed to leave yet. You're already here. So why don't you just stay? Please, child, stay with us. 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 Stay with us.
Stay with me. Hey, can you hear me? Wake up. Bad dreams? Anyway, it's over now. And we're lucky we woke up at all. That raft Korek put us on was about as seaworthy as a paper ship. But thank the sun, that fisherwoman over there took us in. She's headed for Duneville, and we should arrive soon. Couple of hours. That spell Korek's mute buddy put on you must have been quite a doozy. They felt a blow to the back of the head would suffice for me. Guess I was the lucky one. Yeah. That guy should really go easier on the bottle, if you ask me. But it seems that the thousands who follow him see things differently. As if the High Ones alone weren't threat enough. Now they have a self-proclaimed messiah to back them up. That's just peachy. Well, as I heard it, he thinks the cleansing is evolution. We become higher beings. We ascend to a new level of existence, so to speak. And he thinks the reason for the red madness in Enderal is that people still haven't learned the truth about the death of the Lightborn. They're still superstitious, so the sickness weeds them out. Natural selection. And yeah, it sounds absurd. I guess people always see what they want to see. I'm afraid so. According to the fisherwoman, the first of Korak's battleships have already arrived near Duneville. It'll take them a while to get the rest of their fleet over here from Narim, but still. Enderal isn't ready for this. Not at all. Most guards haven't tried their weapons on anything other than training dummies, or at the most, bandits. In other words, we're screwed. Well, I guess first of all, we should be grateful we made it out alive. I bet that if Korak would have known your role in all this, we'd be as dead as doornails by now. Once we arrive in Duneville, we should get back to Ark as soon as possible. I'm sure Arenthiel and the others have already written us off as dead. I suggest you ask the fisherwoman how much farther it is to the village. Well, I suppose, first of all, I'll go get my pay. Regardless of what transpired, we fulfilled our mission. After that, I don't know. War is an entirely different story, and ending up beaten to a pulp with a damned warhammer certainly isn't on my priority list. Am I now? Remind me, if you will, since when am I responsible for saving this wretched land? On the other hand, if we don't manage to stop the cleansing from happening, it won't make a difference if I'm here or on Calais. Oh, my, what did I get myself into? I feel like a bloody marionette in a goddamn play. You are, believe me. You know, there's one thing I just couldn't get out of my head since all this started. Does mankind deserve to be saved? I mean, have we as a species really made this world a better place? What have we accomplished apart from bloodbaths and wars in the name of the true gods or the right way to see things? And even now that we have a common enemy, we fail spectacularly to pull together. That's pathetic somehow, isn't it? Just pathetic. Heck, I sound like the biggest cynic alive. Let's stop here before it gets any worse. Go talk to the fisherwoman. You're really curious, aren't you? But yes, there is something that troubles me apart from the obvious. It's my sister. Well, I told you that we haven't talked much since, you know, since the thing with our family happened. A couple of moons before we met, I wanted to change that, and I went to see her at the League of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains. But she was gone, just like that, and no one knew where she went. It's been troubling me for quite some time now. It's probably nothing, but still, I'm worried.
Ah, you're awake. How are you? No offense, but you look battered. Don't thank me. I only did what every other path-abiding citizen would have done as well. Your friend, he told me about the Naramis. War. I have trouble believing it. Oh, how very reassuring to hear that. But I guess we're well off in Duneville. As long as they don't break through the cavern gate, there's no way they can get inside the town. Of course, that doesn't apply to the plantations and mines. Oh, blazes. Such chaos. Those bloody Naramis. Nothing is sacred to them anymore, is it? For millennia there was peace between the lands of the civilized world. And now this. They're heretics, if you ask me. No more and no less. They should be hung from trees, all of them. Anyway, I guess it's best if you rest a little more. As I said, you look as though you need it. I'll wake you up when we arrive. I do our best. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but right now I'd give a lot for the Art Guard to be here instead of these Duneville watchdogs. At least they know how to wage a war.
Esme?
In any case, you should get back to the Sun Temple as soon as possible.
Then you know her.
Show those Naramis bastards whose country
Great,
this is.
then you're the one she wanted me to find. She wouldn't give me a full name, but she asked me to give the man fitting her description this.
So we should be back within range
Now,
of the
if you'll
teleport
excuse
rooms.
me,
I'm
I
gonna
need
head
to
straight
push
back
on.
the temple. See you there.
Meet me at the old lighthouse near Duneville. Esme.
We're refugees from the war, too. Yes. Anyway, how about keep your chin up, girl.
Keep your chin.
An outlander. Isn't this nice?
Weather.
Yes, scum coming.
Uh-huh.
May your path always be even.
Bed. Sorry.
Need something. Fair enough. Maybe there's a trick or two I could show you, but trust me, they don't come cheap. Yes. Just on, will you?
You search in rooms and tombs for pathless writing treasure.
Move on.
Watch yourself out. The sandstorms can get real ugly.
Huh? Need something?
What?
Ahoy.
Yes.
Get out.
For freedom!
You and your fucking gods have poisoned the world long enough.
I was wondering if you'd come. Possible. I found it by accident. But there's something about it, isn't there? It helps me clear my head. It helps me think. Good question. Shall we go up? The view from up on the roof is great. My, look at that. If it weren't for the Bone Rippers and the bandits, this place would be almost picturesque, wouldn't it? Tara would have liked it. I'm sorry. My emotional outburst in that ruin, it was uncalled for. I shouldn't have said those things. Neither to you, nor to Tara. To her memory, that is. No. Selfish is the wrong word for it. You know, Tara once tried to explain to me what it's like to live with that black fog. We had just spent a wonderful evening together, and we were sitting on a beach, not unlike this one. We kissed and cuddled, and then all of a sudden, she started crying. I tried to comfort her, but it was pointless. She just cried and cried. For almost an hour. At one point she told me that she was sorry. That she was sorry for being how she was. That there was nothing she wanted more than to be different. But that it was out of her control. The fog. It's always there. And there are moments when it just overwhelms you, no matter how hard you try to fight it. Don't you see? She didn't choose to be that way. And she told me that the worst part of it all was seeing how much her suffering dragged me down right along with her. Yes. I don't even understand what it is that you love about me. All I do is drag you down. Strange, isn't it? Now that I'm telling you all this, I understand her. But back then, I just didn't. I couldn't. Good question. Of course, I still struggle understanding why she did it. And the fact that she's gone breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. I wish I could travel back in time and tell her that I will stand by her, no matter how she is. And that she never was, or could ever be, a burden to me. Don't get me wrong. I don't blame myself for her decision. Joining this cult, giving her life. It was her choice. And she didn't do it out of malice. But I just wish I could have somehow made her realize that it always gets better. That the two of us might have eventually beaten the fog someday. I know. But maybe we can somehow make it easier for them. Of course, there are still so many questions. Most of all, who that veiled woman really is, and what she needed those people for. But I'm guessing we won't get an answer to that. Who knows? Maybe what she said was right, and Tara's sacrifice really wasn't for nothing. We'll never know. Well, I'll see. I guess I'll travel back to Kyle, to my clan. If I find a ship that's still willing to cross the Red Sea, that is. Ah, and here. I promised to give you this, didn't I? An amulet, yeah. It's an old heirloom, and you should have it. And no, don't say anything. You risked your life for me, without the prospect of loot or treasure. I'll never forget that. Never. Thank you. How about you, though? What are your plans? Why doesn't that surprise me? Well then, I'll stay here for a little longer. The sea, the moon, the night sky. I know it sounds dramatic, but they help to ease my mind. With my talents? You mean never sticking to an agreement, uncontrollable emotional outbursts, and running away screaming at the sight of a pussbug? I'm not sure, but something tells me that this mission of yours needs someone with a different skill set. Keep your chin up. I'll see you around.
Saira, good to see you. I heard about what happened on Half Moon Island. It's a wonder you and that mercenary made it back alive. But war, it just seems so unreal. How has it come to this? Now we not only have to fight these High Ones, but also some fanatic who thinks he knows best? If they are, then maybe we were foolish to think that the Red Madness is the only weapon at their disposal. Tell me, Saira, how is it possible that our beliefs about what's best for mankind are so different? Why are we so eager to be at each other's throats? Suffering leads to more suffering. Yes, that makes sense. You know what I find so hard to understand? Why there are so few actually care. So few people who feel the need to change something like you and I do. There are moments I just feel so powerless. As if we all know that if we keep going like this, we're headed for a catastrophe. But instead of changing course, we just stand by and watch. Do you know the feeling? I don't know, to me, that just sounds like an excuse. Whenever I think about it, I find it so hard not to get angry. Take all those upper city snobs with their colorful garments and exotic perfumes. They could put all that money to such good use if only they wanted to, but no, they don't, because they just don't give a damn about the poor. Sometimes I imagine going down there, grabbing one of them by the collar and dragging them down into the Undercity, and there I'd force them to see, just for once. But even that probably wouldn't help. I guess we only care about the things that directly affect us. Who fights against poverty if he's never suffered from it? Yes. And once again, you've had to listen to another deluge of my whining. I guess I'm just not a person for pleasantries. Sorry. Saira, I have to ask you something. You said these things to me. Why? No, but I just don't think that's a good idea. I'm not made for things like that. I've never felt the need for them, and honestly, I think it's dangerous. At least for me. No, never. Because You know a lot about me, Saira, and I appreciate our contact, which is the only reason I just told you all of this. So please, respect my wishes. Let's leave it at that for now. We've still got a lot to do. The first of Quarak's ships will reach shore soon, and we have to be prepared.
Let's hope he knows what
Yes?
he's doing.
Greetings.
Damn those Niramese fools. This is madness.
You just wait and see. Fucking sissy.
This just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, a good pipe of peace weed. Jesus, why is that stuff so expensive?
Now, where did I put that?
Yes.
Work, work, work.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Bloody weather.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Now, a good pipe of peace weed. Jesus, why is that stuff so expensive?
Oh shit. I have to remember that.
Work, work, work.
Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor,
Walk blessed.
as in death.
The light fades away at the end of the day. Ta-dum-dum. Now, a good pipe of peace weed. Jesus, why is that stuff so expensive?
This just doesn't make sense.
Oh Oh shit.
Hope he knows
I
what
have
he's
to remember
doing.
that.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do. Yes.
Work, work, work.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Damn those Neremese fools. This is madness.
Now, a good pipe of peace weed. Jesus, why is that stuff so expensive?
Oh shit. I have to remember that.
Brother, did you get my letter?
Ah, yes, I did. Magistra Yela approved your request. We will take care of it as soon as possible. Your sister will be fine. I'm certain of it.
Good. That's good. Thank you. And may his light guide you.
And you.
Work, work, work.
Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
This just doesn't make sense.
You just wait and see.
Wherever you look,
Fucking sissy.
where is this supposed to lead?
Yeah, as if.
Damn those Nimmies fools. This is madness.
Oh shit. I have to remember that.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
What blessed, my sir? Work, work, work.
Yeah, as if.
Peace weed. Jesus, why is that stuff so expensive?
Yes.
But that's ridiculous. We have to at least try to negotiate.
You know his demands. There's no basis for negotiation.
He has not seen what we have seen. The writings, the memories of the Prophet. If he just realized...
My dams, my sirs,
Shit. What took you so long? And where is Constantine?
that's a long story.
And those were his final words? I can't believe it.
Simply another victim of the High Ones. If we do not activate the beacon soon, he won't be the last.
Oh, right. The beacon. If it's activated, we'll simply glow the red madness away, won't we? Or maybe we could, for once in all this, do something that actually makes sense and focus our resources on finding an alchemistical or thaumaturgical solution to this problem, rather than trusting in a pile of scrap metal.
Oh, by the prophet's ass, won't you just shut up for a minute? All day long you do nothing but babble, getting on our nerves, and nothing you ever say gets any closer to a fucking solution. So why don't you just shove off to one of the bathhouses? Go torture the washerwomen with your never-ending lamentations. That would be helpful for a change.
You will take that back.
Will I? Come here and make me. I'd be delighted.
Blasphemy!
Guard your
This
tongue,
is blasphemy.
wild mage, or...
Or what? Are you gonna kill me? That's what you do best, you and your fucking order.
Silence! You are angry, Lishari Pegast, and I understand why. But in the moment you let that anger destroy this alliance, Firespark's sacrifice will have been in vain. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. I am tired of this endless bickering. We have a responsibility, and we will fulfill it.
Well said, Oranthio. And how exactly do you think we are going to do that? Without the sources, the beacon is as worthless as a heap of rusty iron.
The chroniclers are on it, and they will find the answer. Novice, tell Commander Aaron to join us. We need to plan the defense of the land. You, Prophet, will come to me as soon as you have recovered. Now, let us get to work.
Please, Tilor, Jorik is right. A war with Nerim? This is madness.
I know that it is going to be tough, but we have no choice. The beacon is all that we have.
Yes, the beacon, the beacon, the beacon! We don't even know what this thing does, let alone if it will work. If you start a war only because of that damn machine, it means putting the lives of thousands at risk, only because of some vague idea. This is ludicrous, Tila. It's entirely irrational. The man I knew would never have acted like this.
Yes, because that man is dead. I've made decisions driven by fear and selfishness before, and they were always wrong. I will not let that happen again. Seriously, Natara, stop acting as if this were about reason. You're just afraid of making sacrifices for what you believe in. You always were.
Sacrifices? This is about your damn pride, Tilor. Nothing else.
Walk blessed.
The sun be praised you've made it. Constantine. He didn't deserve this. It's just not fair. Then none of us are strong enough. Yeah, Constantine wasn't exactly the most approachable fellow, but he was a damn skilled mage. I have to talk to you as soon as possible. It's about the seal in that letter we found on the mercenaries in Old Rashengrad. I believe I'm onto something. Their client is from Enderal. From Ark, to be more precise. Let's not talk here, though. Meet me in the Dancing Nomad. I'll be in the first room upstairs, right at the end of the staircase. And hurry. Yes, see you there.
Irrelevant. This madman, Koarek. He has completely reshuffled the cards. Now we not only have to deal with the High Ones, but also with him and his fanatics. there's also good news. You have probably seen it already. Physically, yes. And we also know how it works now, and how it can put an end to the cycle. It is easier than we thought. The beacon was constructed for one thing, to destroy the High Ones. Once reconstructed, infused with energy and activated, lit, as the Pyreans called it, it can banish the High Ones from this plane of existence. Immaterial, indeed. Essentially, they can be compared to the cold or to shadows. Omnipresent elements, yet we cannot touch them. Energy, if you will. However, there is a counterpart to each energy. Cold and fire, shadow and light, the High Ones and the beacon. Yes. Imagine a torch driving away the darkness in the moment it is ignited. This is what the beacon can do, except that the banishing will be permanent. Yes, as I said, it needs to be infused with energy before it can be lit. I take it you have noticed the 3 sockets on its base. They are what it draws its power from. Once they are filled, the beacon can be ignited and the High Ones will be undone, once and for all. At least, if the old writings are true. The only thing left for us to find out is what these energy sources are. But we are close. Give the Arcanists some more time and I will let you know if there's any news. In the meantime, get equipped accordingly. Some of the Neremes have landed already, and outbreaks of the Red Madness become more and more frequent as we speak. Well, it's only fair to tell you. You've always been honest to me, so I will do the same. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Thousand Fires? Between 8192 and 8202, there was an underground movement in Kira called the Red Half Moon. They were brought into being by a group of intellectuals and philosophers who, under all the freedom of thought Saldrine granted them, started questioning the reign of the Golden Queen, and thus the Lightborn themselves. Saldrine saw himself as the god of knowledge, and accordingly he reigned his country. In Kira, no opinion is forbidden, which is why it is home to countless magic schools and universities, where people do nothing but discuss the reason for being all day long. An appealing thought if you hear it for the first time, but a cunning people isn't easy to rein. There have been more revolts and riots in Kira than bones in a graveyard, and the Red Half Moon was the worst of them. Correct, just as my son did. But other than him, they fought like cowards. Terror, dust crystals planted in the marketplaces, and assassinations, you name it. If they killed innocents, they blamed the Golden Queen, and if they killed her soldiers, they celebrated themselves as liberators. However, they never succeeded in putting her down, and neither did she in destroying them, which is why the court turned to the Lightborn for help. A division of the Holy Order led by me, a young keeper of barely 30 winters. None to be taken seriously. You know, not everywhere is the Order as present as here on Enderal, or as it once was on Narem. In Kira, we were ridiculed. I saw the Kiranian keepers who served the Golden Queen. A bunch of decadent gluttons who had dedicated themselves to the court's banquets rather than to the will of the gods. They were pathetic. A moon after our arrival, we received an anonymous tip on where one of the Half Moon's bases was supposed to be located, in a small coastal village. As we entered it, we were greeted by the township's elders, and the villagers themselves had gathered behind them. You should have seen how they stared at us, as if we were plunderers. I should have seen by then that something was wrong. Yes, but if there was one thing the Red Half Moon was good at, it was sowing lies. According to them, we were nothing but butchers who executed everyone unable to recite the revelation word for word. That's what they wanted us to think, and they did a good job at that. A veiled person here, an archer on the rooftops there. I got nervous, because villagers or not, they bested us in numbers, and they had kettled us. Then a man seemed to charge at us, and I gave the order to draw weapons. It was just the spark they needed. No, not a fight. A massacre. The villagers had pitchforks and shepherd staffs, and we had shadow steel swords, let alone the fact that we were trained warriors. I realized that I had made a mistake a split second after it started, but it was too late by then. My men, they slaughtered them all, like pigs. At the end of the day, 300 people were dead, and only 10 of them were keepers. Have you ever been in a big battle? Even if my men would have stopped, the villagers were blinded with rage and panic. No. From the moment I gave the order, it was too late. Well, what better proof of the Lightborn's cruelty is there than a division of keepers who, out of pure wickedness, slaughtered an entire village, women, children included. If the people had already distrusted us before that distrust had turned into hatred, and nothing could have changed that, not even the Golden Queen's heralds. We set sail back to Enderal a week later. 2 years after that, the Red Half Moon destroyed itself due to infighting. Ironic, isn't it? Maybe. The Lightborn and the Grandmaster back at that time showed the compassion I wouldn't grant myself. But I learned one thing, and that is that I will never again let fears about my own life influence my decisions. What happened in Kira was the consequence of my own cowardice, and my unwillingness to give my life for a just cause. That will never happen again. Yes. Why do you ask? In an old temple in the northern mountains of Nerim. It was a bastion of our order before Narazul's armies conquered it after the Battle of Triomar. Ironic, I know. They did. What are you getting at? A fair point, but in the future just be upfront. I do not like such veiled remarks. So, yes, my time in the prison was harsh. The hunger, the degradation, to name the most obvious. The worst, however, was the isolation. Ironically enough, that was the last thing I had expected, you know. From all the suffering there is, it seems so banal. But it isn't. You either find ways to cope with it, or it breaks you. Fortunately, I managed to do the former. For me, it was memories of the time before my incarceration, the prospect of what would come after it,
They were my window into the outer world, so to speak. They reminded me that I was more than this deprived creature I had become in those dungeons. Strange. Everything seemed too bright, too unreal. I especially felt that in the cloister with Narazul's mages. I had difficulty talking to other people, and whenever I did, it felt as if the others were like wax figures. Like some cruel joke put in front of my eyes in order to mock me. Better. Our mission, my responsibility here as a leader, it has helped me to find my way back into the real world. What would have been the alternative? A life as a fisherman? If the things I had to live through taught me one thing, then it was how important it is for me to be right here, right now, doing what I do. In fact, this is precisely what is missing in the world. People who do not let the whims of fate break their resolve. Now, enough of this. We have business to attend to. Yes? As I said before, my knowledge about that is limited. But if it helps you, imagine that it is a way of perceiving that which connects us all, our subconscious. Yes. You know, most people perceive themselves as an entity separate from the rest of the world. And while this is partially true, there is something that connects us. Dark corners of our mind, bridges to which we in a conscious state do not have access to. But you do not need to be supernaturally gifted to feel that these bridges exist. I am sure you have experienced it yourself at one time or another. A moment where you knew exactly what another person thought or would do next. People with close blood ties can especially feel that connection. Children and their mothers, siblings, and especially twins. Correct. And while most people hardly feel this connection at all, as if looking through a tinted window, to you, it is wide open during your visions. Their bodies might be, but the traces they left behind still remain. Everything that was, everything that is, and everything that will be, it already exists in the sea of eventualities. This is the basic principle of magic. And time is not a straight line. Only the barriers of our mind make us perceive it as such. Visions, premonitions, dreams that become reality. These are all leftovers of waves from other eventualities that spill over into our reality. There have always been people able to read them, but none so good at it as you are, thanks to the Echo. Good question. In their writing, the Pyreans say it has existed for aeons. Since this world exists, since the sea of eventualities exists, so too then does the cycle. It seems to be a part of existence, so to speak. The Pyreans didn't, and neither did the dozen civilizations that came before them. That is what we know. But as for what happened before that, our knowledge about the past is limited. All that matters for now is that the cycle threatens us, and that we have to stop it. That depends on whom you ask. In some writings of the Pyreans, we are referred to as chosen ones, but this is wrong. A better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle also gave us powers and a task. But fulfilling that task is our own responsibility. No. Well, that is something else we only know in broad strokes. It is my task to lead mankind in its battle against the cleansing, to rally our strengths, so to speak. Yours is to read the Echo and help us gain the knowledge we need for victory. How exactly you're going to do that is something we still have to find out.
Some shifts never.
You're a foreigner, aren't you? I wish I'd have crossed the Red Sea once, or seen Kira, the Grand Bazaar. Ah, well. My sir?
A game? Come on, take a seat.
I really need that new herbal essence for my hair.
Of course she'd say that.
Oh, well.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it. Men, that's just how they are.
Everything was better in the old days.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking.
Now a good pipe.
Where did I put that? Well.
Just where did I put it?
Oh, well. Oh, yes. Of course she'd say that.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking. Where did I put that?
Yeah, as if.
That's how it is. Everything was better in the old days.
Oh, yes. Of course she'd say that.
Nicer.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent. Oh, you're not. You. I know that accent.
Where did I put that? Oh, that's just how he is. Always talking.
Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent. sir.
That's just how it is. Everything was better in the old days.
My sir.
Oh, yes. Of course you'd say that.
Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent. My sir.
Mead, stew, roast pork.
Oh,
Anyone?
you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent. Is it important?
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking.
May your path always even. Hello. Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent.
Where did I put that?
Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent. Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
I really need a new herbal essence for my hair. May your path always be even. May your path always be.
Yes. Of course you'd say that.
My sir. Move along. My sir.
Where did I put that?
Yeah, as if. Oh, you're not from around here, are you? I know that accent.
Well,
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
Prophet, are you in there? Kirash, what? Why? What have you done? What? No. I will not accept this. I will not accept this, damn it! Forgive me. This is simply too much. Yes, I know, Nea. But she was a good woman. We both know that we're not involved in this. So please tell me why you and Lashari wanted to meet up here? Were the two of you close? It's been a while since there was a man at Lashari's side. So why? What? Then this bastard got wind of it. Oh, Kirash, Lashari, why the secrecy? Maybe the murderer has left a clue. We have to search. What's this? Let me see. Yes! This could be our clue. No, certainly not. But come to think about it, it doesn't really help us either. There are so many dust addicts in Ark, it would take years just to count them. Ah, by the name of the sun, I will inform the Order. Yes, you do that. But come back to the temple as soon as you're finished, all right? The Archmagister has found something out about those sources we need for the beacon, even though he paid a high price for it.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking.
Men, that's just how they are.
Put that.
Be careful, my sir. The streets aren't safe at this hour. Any news? Those Naramese heretics are bloody invading our country. Is that news enough? But let them come. We will show them what it means to declare war on a country of the Lightborn.
Monsieur?
Hello. Walk blessed. I might. What do you need? Take care. How am I supposed to pay that?
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
What?
A machine that can banish these High Ones. The mysteries of this world are endless, aren't they?
Ah, if it isn't the Prophet. What's wrong? You look troubled. I know. Shah Rim has already told me. I hardly knew her, but it's horrible. Different ideologies or not, she was a fine young mage, and her knowledge of the Pyreans was impressive. We need to find the ones who did this, and fast. But you probably already know that. Thank Malphus we just had a breakthrough with the beacon. At least as far as the sockets go, yes. In the old tablets you found in Old Dothugrad, there's talk of black embers, which are supposed to be some kind of energy supply for the machine. This is what we've been asking ourselves over the past few weeks, and then it fell like pelt from our eyes. The Pyreans were talking about the Black Pearls. Old jewels, sometimes known as Blackstones. They appeared for the first time in the Golden Era, and every self-important noble literally fought to get one in his possession. Apparently they originated from Stormwind, the old city in the heart of Octwind. They changed owners for decades, sometimes by violence, sometimes by gold. The whole thing only stopped when the owners took note of an undesirable side effect, if you like. Everything has a catch, and sometimes this catch is even upside down. But the stones weren't somehow enchanted, if that's what you're thinking. At least not by any known magical means. Nevertheless, all of their owners eventually shared the same fate. Countess Katua from Nerim, for example, whose castle burnt down to its foundations. According to a survivor of this tragedy, she was to blame for that. He claimed that he saw her the night it happened, laughing hysterically and dancing in the dining room and summoning waves of fire all around her. She was not previously known to have any magical talent in her. Correct. Plus, all of them eventually showed similar symptoms of delusion, like those possessed by the Red Madness do. A peculiar coincidence, if you ask me. Not quite.
Those who owned a pearl tried to get rid of it, or lock it up somewhere safe, and eventually they fell into oblivion. Tell him your theory, Archmagister.
Yes, of course. We believe that the stones carry energy, pure, uncontrolled magic, and that the High Ones use them for their own purposes. Correct. The pearl's magic make their owners powerful, but the High Ones befoul them, so to speak. Like a poisoned potion. I know it sounds odd, but the parallels are too striking to ignore. The red shimmer in the victim's eyes, the slow descent into madness, and ultimately this irrational, destructive act of violence. That's what we thought too, but it seems we were wrong. Maybe the High Ones never leave our planes at all, even after the cleansing. Maybe they are even part of this world, just like the tides or the elements. And the death of the gods is only what really sets them rolling, so to speak. That's a question I've been asking myself since we first learned of the cycle. Who knows? Maybe they like for us to suffer. Or maybe they see us as we see ants, whose lives simply mean nothing. Or maybe the very concept of intentions is meaningless to them. That's what we think, yes. Nothing else in this world possesses that much raw power.
Which is why you will find them for us. No, because we know what we are dealing with. Unlike those who fell victim to the stones. Imagine them as a powerful, magical sword. A fool won't know how to wield it and will eventually cut himself with it. A seasoned warrior, however, can use its power for his purposes. Which doesn't mean, however, that we will be careless with them. What we need is their energy, and once we have transferred that to the beacon, their shells will be useless to the High Ones.
Correct.
That's right. But we don't need all of them. The beacon has 3 sockets, and that is how many of the stones we will acquire. Archmagister.
I studied the history of the pearls as a young arcanist, and I think that my notes might give you some hints as to where you should start looking. Give me until tomorrow. By then I will have prepared the relevant excerpts. Just come to me whenever you have questions.
And hurry. I take it you have already noticed this, but Nerimi's troops are roaming our land and building outposts, and the Red Madness is also getting worse as we speak. Now go, Prophet. The sooner we find these stones, the better.
This just doesn't make any sense. Why can't it ever be easy?
Hello. Yes?
Let's hope he knows what
Well,
he's doing.
finding out about the Blackstones was definitely a great step forwards. But still, we're left with a myriad of questions. Sometimes I feel pathetic, to be honest. Like a child, asked to understand the functioning of a Starling airship.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Walk blessed.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Well met.
The light fades away.
What do you want, urchin child? My problem with you? I don't have a problem with you. I have a problem with what you stand for. Tell me, prophet, who built this temple, which you enter and leave as frivolously as a sailor leaving a brothel? What did Malphas say to Dalcidocius after he succeeded in suppressing the Blood Moon riot? How goes the 100th verse of the Holy Path, which the novices have to recite each morning? What is the holiest tenet of the creed to every keeper of the sigil? Why is only the highest commander of the guard allowed to enter the temple? I applaud your cunning. You know nothing, neither of our faith nor of our country, and only because you happen to have strong magic in you, Aranthiel thinks that justifies desecrating our traditions. Do you know how few Endraleans, even those of the Sublime Path, are granted the novitiate? Are you aware how hard these novices have to train and learn in order to just be allowed to enter the trial? We're not some group of tavern regulars which you can just join and leave on a whim. We are the Holy Order. We are what has kept peace in this country for millennia. And only because Tila has doted on this idiocy of cycles and prophecies, he feels it's justified to abolish this country's foundations with a flick of his fingers. You, urchin child, you're the living proof of what has become of this country. Even just your boot prints on this sacred ground are blasphemy to everything we stand for. What I see is a country that now more than ever needs peace, stability, and a strong leading hand. And transforming this order into a bunch of fortune-tellers, wild mages and thimble-riggers will only make the situation worse. Do you even know how many of our people were killed in the war Tila's fool of a son started? And now his former people, Pegast, Shahrim, whatever they call themselves, tread on these sacred grounds as if there were nothing more natural in the world. Now leave. Do what you want, but spare me your presence.
We will hearken with glee and follow your path to eternity.
The fabled G. I hope you can live up to what they say about you.
Walk blessed.
Huh?
Shivering hands and delirious eyes, brittle voices and maniac minds, they roam across the land, spreading terror and dismay. Walls of fire and arrows of ice, before you can blink, they have slaughtered you twice. Death is their companion.
Yes?
War on Nerum. War on Kile. Red madness. The fuck is wrong with this world?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that just might work.
Well met.
Yes? Hello? Ah, yes. Here. There they are. I've marked the most relevant parts, so you don't have to read the entire book. Just see if they tell you anything that could give you a clue as to where you should start searching. I will be waiting at the beacon.
He knows what he's doing. pathlessness wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Is it now? Remind me not to burst into tears.
A machine can banish these high ones. The mysteries of this world are endless, aren't they?
Huh? Move along.